Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Knit State of Mind podcast. Today is Sunday, February 23rd. We're here in California. My name is Wanda. You can find me on Ravelry as Wanda Watt and on Instagram as Zest, letter N, class.
And I'm Heather. I'm on Ravelry as Heather T and on Instagram as Heather T3. And we are on Instagram as Knit State of Mind. So please follow us over there. We've been doing the February challenge, which has been really fun.
Yep.
So thank you to everyone who's commented on those posts. That really means a lot to us.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So we came back from the Stitches West Festival. Is it considered a festival? We went to Stitches West yesterday and got to check out some nice yarn and jewelry and project bags. Everything you could think of was at the festival.
Yeah, and we actually ended up not really buying very much.
I was quite surprised.
We had you had a spreadsheet.
I had a spreadsheet. So I had a spreadsheet that apparently I started a couple of months ago. I didn't realize it. And it had possible projects to buy yarn for, but I think that none of them really inspired me at the moment, and I've been buying yarn, and so I kind of have been feeling the need for yarn, and so I told Heather when we were there, I was like, I'm going to be okay with just letting the spirit move me, and you would assume that the spirit would move me in the other direction towards buying more yarn, but can you believe it? I didn't buy any yarn. I was contemplating something. Kind of trying to
magenta. Contemplating magenta.
Yeah, I was trying to open up and move out of my comfort zone some. And magenta with a little orange golden undertone to it. But I didn't bite the bullet. But it's all good. We have some cool local yarn shops. And when I'm ready, I can get what I need.
Yeah, and I just got one thing which I'll show because it has to do with future plans. And I felt the same way. I just wasn't, I don't actually tend to be a shopper who browses and then finds stuff to catch my interest anyway. I tend to have a plan, but I'm so used to not buying yarn that there wasn't anything that I wanted. I was just like, I don't need any of this. I think it helped that I had gone through my stash on President's Day weekend and kind of reorganized some stuff. Yeah. And so I found a bunch of stuff that I got excited about again. So
nice.
Yeah.
Hey, so why force it?
Right, exactly.
Cool.
But it was fun, and you got a lot of compliments on your sweater.
I did. I did. Yeah. I was surprised, I guess, but quite a few folks noticed it because I thought, it's such a popular sweater. So many people have knit it. So many people have seen it already or whatever. But it's still a hit. I think this is a classic that folks like, and the color. I got compliments on the color and all of that. So cool.
Yeah. Well, you want to start out by telling us a little bit about that?
Yes. So
I know it's old news at this point.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the finished. So this is what I'm wearing and my finished object, and I guess we haven't talked about it on the podcast since it's been done. So just as a reminder, not that you really need it, this is the Levenwick by Gudrun Johnson. It uses Brooklyn Tweed embers, and so I don't know. It's this tweedy color. Some people were saying in the photos it didn't pick up on that tweed as much, but you see it has the speckles of yellow in there as well. And so the only thing that I did differently with this pattern is I added maybe about 8 rows to the neck so that it could stand up, and I cast on 88 to start for my size, which was less than what the pattern called for. And then so you can see it has this little pocket. I blocked it all first because I had started putting the pocket on before I blocked it. Didn't really like it. I'm probably, if you see there are strings hanging here, I'm probably I might redo the pocket again. I think I was close to done. It had blocked and dried, and I wanted to wear it that day. So I ended up just putting the pocket on, seaming the pocket on really quickly so I could wear it because I decided I really do want the pocket. Yeah. You see it has the 7 buttons here, and there are a lot of different ways to wear it. I've decided that, 5 closed and 2 open is my preference. But it's weird. When I was making it, I wasn't sure how it would look all buttoned up, but it's not like curled up or anything. So it really does work either way.
Yeah, it looks good both ways. I love it open though, especially if you're wearing an interesting shirt underneath it. You know, that has a pattern or something.
Exactly. Yeah. And the sleeves are supposed to be a lot short. I think the sleeves before doing the end pattern, you're supposed to stop at about 11.25 inches. And I want to say I went to like 17, 18 inches. So I wanted it to be a lot longer to give me that versatility. So, and it works out fine. It's pretty comfortable. I mean, if I'm being honest, I can tell the difference between Brooklyn tweed worsted and wool of the Andes worsted, because my last sweater, the Nilly, was wool of the Andes, and this just feels a lot more flexible than that one. So I'm liking it. I think I mentioned on the last episode that I was finishing the sleeves, so I did it in a different order. So they have you work the sleeves before the button band and adding this lace on here. But I did all of that first, and I really liked doing it that way, and just having the sleeves, having everything else done. And then when I finished the sleeves, I was basically done. I just had to knit the pockets. Started getting a little crampy with the purling for the reverse stockinette. I know I could have considered doing it inside out, but I had read some of the comments on Ravelry, and they noticed the difference in terms of how the pattern, how the stitch stuff, the fabric turned out when they did it inside out. And I didn't mind the purling too much. I just started noticing I got crampy after doing it for a while, but persevered. Such an enjoyable knit. Yeah. Like, it gives me motivation to make more garments. Like, if this was this enjoyable, I can, just chill out and enjoy some more tops. Yeah. Which is in the works now. Yeah. Yeah, I'll share in a little bit.
Yeah, it makes me think about how important the yarn is, too, to how much you're going to wear it. Because I feel like you haven't worn that Neely sweater very often. I mean, you wore it a bit when it was winter and it was really cold. Yeah. But I've already seen you wear this like 2 or 3 times. Yeah. And so the feel, and everyone's different, right, in terms of what feels good on your skin. But I feel like the feel of the yarn is so important to whether or not you're going to wear it. Yeah. I
think the more I make tops, the better I can feel. I have a sense of the choices to make, so now I know I need the arms to be a bit looser. The Nilly feels a little stuffy on me, and I think it's the yarn, but then also the cut or size I chose to make. I mean, I'll still rock it, but and then also it's a warm sweater, and we've talked about that before for our weather, and this gives me versatility because I basically wear it like a jacket out here. So
Yeah, that's a good point, that it's not just about the yarn, it's also about the ease, right? So like a woolier yarn that might seem itchier, if you have space between that and your arm, it won't be as bad. You just don't want that yarn super tight on you.
You need air.
You need a cushion.
But yeah, I'm happy with it.
Nice. Yeah, it's great. Where'd you get the buttons? Oh, sorry.
That's something I don't want to admit.
Okay.
Because I don't actually have a mix. These are from Amazon. Okay. And I'm trying to wean myself off of Amazon for political reasons, and it's just tough with schedule and all of that. And it really works, the convenience of it all. But
I know. I just bought a knitting needle from Amazon the other day, and same thing. I was like, for me, it's like most of what I buy on Amazon, honestly, if I just got off my rear end and walked, I live 2 blocks away from a Target. If I got up and walked 2 blocks to Target, I could get pretty much most things that I buy on Amazon. And why shipping and packaging and I totally understand. When I lived in Texas and didn't have access to as much stuff, like I loved shopping on Amazon because I could get things I couldn't get around me. But so
it's about for me. I need to get my stuff together because I mean we're busy. Right. I'm a caregiver for my mom, so it's the convenience. But I need to get my stuff together so that I'm not relying on a company like Amazon. So just for environmental reasons and then political reasons and folks that they support and all of that. Anyway,
they're lovely buttons.
Thank you. These worked out. I do like them. Hey. What about you?
Okay, so I am wearing my Mount Pleasant, which is patterned by Pippin Pin, who's Megan Nodecker. She has a podcast as well. I actually haven't watched it in a while. I should go back and watch it. I used to like watching that. But anyway, so
I've watched a few episodes.
Have you? Yeah. I started out, I was really trying to finish my piece of silver because it was orange to wear to stitches, and then we would be twins and all of that. But I'll just share right now why I didn't finish it, and then I'll show you the Mount Pleasant. So I got the body finished and put it on to see if it fit, which it does. And there is still just, I don't know if you can see there, is that the front or the back? On the front, there is still this like line. It's actually not showing up very well, but it's quite visible when I have the sweater on. There's a line where the yarn is lighter. Oh, you can see it there. See how it's lighter at the top and then darker?
Yeah, it starts about right here.
Yeah. So I had pulled all the way back to the underarms to knit alternating skeins to try to avoid that. So this is, but yet
You've
somehow
done this twice.
Part way down here, it still has that line, and of course that line is like right there. And I just was like, you know what? Some people might say, oh, nobody's gonna notice it, but I noticed it, and every time I looked at it,
you're the one wearing it.
I was like, I can't. So, and the turtleneck is too long. Even though I knit it to pattern.
Oh, you put in so much work on that turtleneck though.
So I do really like this sweater. It fits perfectly.
Yeah.
But so I think I'm just gonna have to rip all the way back, and then I'll rip out a couple inches of the turtleneck.
My goodness.
And start over. I know.
How do you feel about that?
It's definitely going in the closet for a while until next winter. Because the other thing is, I was actually really glad I didn't wear it at stitches.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I would have been way too hot.
It was pretty warm down in Santa Clara. It was cooler up here, but yeah, it's true. That worked out perfectly.
Yeah, so this worked out perfectly. So what I did is I realized maybe on Monday that I was going to have to pull it back, and there was just no possible way to get it done. So I said, it's not like I had to finish a sweater, but I was like, Mount Pleasant is almost done. So maybe if I get it out, I can finish it. So I did. So it's a cropped sweater. So if I'm being honest, I wish it was about an inch longer because people were commenting on it yesterday, and every time someone said, oh, I like your sweater, I would go like this.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's just like a teensy bit shorter than I would like. I mean, I think this is how it's supposed to fit.
So that's 2 pattern. That's the length she said to do it. Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 pattern.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very happy with the fit.
Yeah.
The gauge turned out exactly how it should after blocking. The lace part is really nice here at the bottom. It blocked out really nicely. I'm really pleased with the shoulder seams. It's a 3 needle bind off. And it just looks really nice, if I do say so myself. And I think I did a good job picking up around here. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with the fit. I just probably, now I know if I'm knitting a crop sweater, I need it like an inch longer just to feel like I'm not always.
I think it looks great.
Pulling it down.
Yeah.
So yeah. But this is made out of Forbidden Fiber Company Babel yarn in the color Dark Peacock. And I didn't even realize until I went to put this project in Ravelry, because it wasn't in Ravelry yet, that this yarn has yak in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well then.
I just bought it for the color.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 70% merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. Yeah. So I think
what difference is that making?
I think it must give it like a drape.
Yeah.
Maybe a different drape or something, because it is definitely soft, and it's because I didn't knit it with very much ease, you can't really tell that it's drapey, but it is like
nice.
Drapey. So
yeah, I love it. I really do.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and make one of those.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
To be continued.
And it only uses, so for my size, which I made the size large, I think it's the bust circumference is 42 inches maybe. I only used a skein and a half of yarn.
Yeah.
So I used like 150 grams of yarn.
I remember it not taking that much because we had both casted this on last summer or spring. I can't remember.
I think it was last summer.
And I got, I made some progress, and then I decided it was too tight. It was too small. Ripped it out and never did it again. So.
And I started it and got about just past the lace and realized it was too big and had to rip it out.
I remember. Yeah. She's way more persistent than I am.
Well, my strategy for gauge swatching is just to start the sweater.
Yeah.
And then tear it.
You can get away with that. I can't, but that seems to be my strategy as well. So, how about that?
Speaking of, you want to talk about Minaret?
I can talk about Minaret.
Into some whips.
So, I have not ripped this out. I possibly should, but I probably won't.
It was pretty.
So,
yeah.
They're on these small needles. Trying to figure out. So this is my Minaret. They're on 16s right now. So, but let's see if you can kind of see that. So they have a lot of my favorite things in there, right? Basically twisted stitch. So there's a twisted stitch here, and then there's purling in between. The Minaret is by Christina Danaee. She's also she's also the designer of the Nilly. So the sweater from, I think that was our first or second episode. And I've had this in my queue for a while, and I think I have a picture of it, of her wearing it. And so I wanted to branch out in terms of colors. I really wanted a rose gold. You all probably know this by now. I spend a lot of time kind of researching colors and looking for the perfect color. And then I went to our local yarn store, the Black Squirrel in Berkeley one day. And once I walked in, I saw that color on the shelf. And I was like, that's the color I'm looking for. And it was done and done. But this is the original. So it's somewhat cropped. I think I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I do like short tops, but at my coming to my natural waist, I think. But it has bobbles in there, and I think there might be some lace. Yeah, there's some lace at the bottom. Right? Yeah. But anyway, so I just cast it on, didn't swatch. I know, I'm not as advanced of a knitter as many of you all, so I should definitely be swatching, but I don't know. I figured that I could check it, and so I checked it, and I don't have gauge. I blocked it. What I realized is I didn't stretch or try to manipulate the fabric at all when I blocked it. So after blocking it, the gauge pretty much stayed the same. And so what I'm basically deciding now, I tried it on. I don't know if that tells you much, but I did try it on. Sent Heather a very weird photo. And so what I'm debating now is, so I started making the first size, and I'm debating making the second size, which would get me closer to my bust, but still a little bit smaller, and she recommends positive ease. But then I'm thinking if I block it a little bit more rigorously, I didn't shape it, maybe I could get it, because some people did do it just like at zero ease, maybe it could work. Or if I did the third size, I'd have to rip out what I currently have, basically. But if I did the second size, I could continue as is and work it out along the way. So we'll see. I basically blocked it and put it back on the needles, and haven't been able to pull myself to ripping it out, because I know what happens when I rip things out. When I ripped out what is this called?
Mount Pleasant.
When I ripped out the Mount Pleasant, I didn't cast it on again. But, everything in its own time. I might be casting it on this spring, too. Yeah. I wanted a spring knit, so when the weather started getting nicer here, I was like, oh, it's time for me to get ready for spring and summer, so let me get some things on the needles that I can wear during the spring or summer. So the Minaret, that's on the agenda. The Rizzo
the Rizzo's going to come back out of hibernation.
Might need to come back out of hibernation. That might need to get on the needles. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I know it's supposed to be like 70 degrees here next week.
We had a 70-degree day like 2 days ago. The other thing I forgot to mention, this is the yarn. So it's Onyx Fiber Arts, the sock yarn in the color Sofia. So yeah. And I do have clothes this color, so I know that. I actually wore a top to work the other day in this color, and my students were like, I really like that color on you. I was like, ooh, yes.
Yeah, it's a good color. And it's actually similar to the color in the picture.
Yeah, it's just it's a lighter tone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. What have I been working on? Okay, so speaking of hibernating, I pulled out one of the post prompts for February was hibernating. So I pulled out my baby blanket.
Oh, yes.
Hexies. This is the Hexie Love Actually pattern. It's white. It's going to be hard to get it to show properly, but by
maybe closer though.
I forget the name of the designer, but we'll put it in the show notes. But anyway, it's the Hexie Love Actually pattern. And it turned out that I actually had already joined 2 rows of these Hexies together.
Nice.
So I pulled it all out and I started joining the 3rd row. So it's just a baby blanket size. Yeah. And then I kind of petered out. This is the end that I stopped.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep picking away at that. My goal is to get this finished in March.
You know Happy Little Yarn? Is that her name? Happy Little... She has a make-along, a blanket.
Yeah.
Make-along, so maybe that can be some encouragement.
Definitely. That's why I was thinking, like, I want to try and get this done. So, Amy, you're making me do it. And we're going to try and get it done in March. I don't know why I said we, because I'm only working on this.
I'm like, okay.
If anyone wants to reach across the internet and crochet these together for me, I'd really appreciate it.
Well, community support, that's the we.
Yeah. So I pulled that back out, and I'm glad I got it out, but I will be glad when it's done, because I'm actually not really enjoying it. The yarn is cotton, and I don't love working with cotton, which I think is maybe why I put it away to begin with.
Got it.
So, anyway, but I'll get it done.
What's your gripe with cotton?
I just don't like how it feels. It's not as like bouncy as wool, and so I just don't like how it feels. Like the way I hold my yarn, it like runs across my finger, and I don't like that. And it doesn't have as. It's just I just don't personally find it as enjoyable to work with. Yeah.
How many rows is it?
It's
supposed to be?
Oh, that's a good question. I think just as many as you want it to be.
So okay. You have to decide.
I think I have enough for 7 or 8 rows, I forget.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
Yeah. So. And then it'll just go in my stash and.
For when someone's ready.
Someone's ready for a pink baby blanket. Yep. So what else have you been working on?
So, I have not love-hate, but, my relationship with everything I'm making right now. I guess I finished this and was on a high, and now I'm just kind of like, oh, I guess I'll work on that. But this is...
Okay, I think you need to get back in love with that.
This is my Nightshift. And I keep, I have mixed feelings about the colors. Maybe it's because I don't do blue, so maybe it's really just the blue. I don't know. But I'm almost done with the 5th section on this. I don't know if you guys can see that. And I'm using Knitpicks Wool of the Andes, which is not color shifting yarn. And so part of me keeps looking at
the picture.
I keep looking at the picture like this is what originally attracted me to this thing, but it's color shifting yarn, it's spin cycle, it costs about $180 total if you're using that yarn, and that's not feasible. Knitpicks is like $3 a skein, so I'm trying to just do my own thing. I had spent, when I first got the yarn, I spent some time trying to like plan, and nothing worked out and seemed perfect, so I was like, I'll just loosely make decisions as I go. So part of me is also like, you know what? You'll find a use for it either way. So even if I don't end up loving it for myself, I can give it to my mom or whomever, because it's such an enjoyable knit. It's worsted. moves kind of quickly. And it's fun playing with colors, even though 1 minute I'm like, oh, I like that combination. And the next, see what happened here? I phased in this, I think it's called sapphire blue. And then I was knitting with it, and I was like, I don't like that as much. So I went back to, I was like, I'm just going to go back to the midnight blue. So yeah, the next section I think I'm going to bring in burgundy.
That'll be nice. Yeah. I like it. I think it looks good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think
that's some motivation.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you can do whatever you want with it, right?
Yeah.
You can, yeah.
And you know what? It's just another way of being, right?
Yeah.
Allowing myself to go with the flow, however the colors unfold.
Would Mark or one of the boys wear that?
Nope.
Okay. So never mind. No, because I feel like it's not like super out there colors, so.
But I'm telling you, they pretty much always wear t-shirts.
Okay.
And if they have on some outer layer, well, Mark wears hats, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
No need for additional accessories. Yeah. But
So,
it's fine. It'll be good.
Yeah.
I have a feeling in the end I might actually really like it.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know until you finish it, and then
Yeah.
stuff that you thought you'd love, you don't, and
Yeah.
stuff that you weren't that excited about,
I just need to see how the other main colors work out. You know, I figured blue is just, it's a smaller section, so we'll see.
Yeah. So I got inspired by her Nightshift, and then a friend of ours who went to Stitches with us, which I still need to post that picture on Instagram, but I will. We put it in our stories, a picture of the four of us. Yeah. So anyway, she made the shift. That's what I'm making, right?
The cowl, right?
Right, yeah.
There were quite a few people with either the cowl or the night shift. Yeah. It was a popular.
It was, yeah. And that's not that new of a pattern. I think that came out a couple years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not very new.
So anyway, I was feeling left out. I had FOMO.
2018.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I started one of my own.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen yours.
So this is my little itty bitty start on the shift. Just with some leftover fingering weight yarn that I have. So I like it okay. I'm having the same thing where I feel like it's not really shifting because it's 3 solid color yarns, but I do like the colors, excuse me, and
I like it.
So the other issue with this is that the brown, you can't really tell there, I'll have to hold up the ball. The brown is a little bit of like a purpley brown. It's like a cooler brown, which I don't really like the cooler colors. So this is another one where once I finish it, I'm gonna have to see if it looks good on me or if I want to give it to somebody else that looks better in cooler colors.
Sense. Yeah.
But the yarn for this is the brown is Rowan 4-ply soft, and the color is called suede. And I had originally started making like a tank top or something out of this.
Oh, really?
In like 2008, I don't even know. And I pulled it out a few years ago because it was just sitting there.
Yeah.
And then the green, sorry about all the rustling, the green and the coral are from Verb for Keeping Warm.
Ooh.
And it's their dress circle yarn.
Oh, I like that coral a lot.
Yeah, it's naturally dyed with like madder and some other things, I think. So that coral color is called Mesa, and the green is called succulent. And it's left over from another shawl that I made several years ago. So
nice.
yeah. So I knit a little bit on it, and then I just put it away and worked on other things. But I'll get that back out at some point.
I didn't realize the shift cowl was fingering weight.
I think maybe it's sport.
Got it.
But I just decided to do, because it's with Spin Cycle, and I think that, I don't know, it's fingering to sport. I think it's a heavier fingering, not Spin Cycle.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the sun's doing weird things to you. The sun is doing weird things,
yeah.
That's better. What else are you working on?
Okay, what else do I have? Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Okay, so I finished, actually another FO that I had is I finished that Laceweight scrap scarf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I posted a picture on Instagram of it wrapped around a stuffed chicken's neck.
Yeah.
So go check out Instagram if you want to see that.
It's a squirrel.
Oh.
Sorry.
So I finished that, and I had intended just to make it for myself, but it was our friend Helen's birthday. Oh. And I finished it right before her birthday, and it just really, seemed like her. I don't know, just seemed like her style. And I was like, you know what? I'm sending this off. So I put it in an envelope and mailed it to her like the next day.
Nice. That worked out.
Yeah. So I finished that, but then I still had like half of that yarn left. It's like the never ending yarn.
So you're doing.
So I started another
one.
But this one, the other one had really fat stripes, which I think is why it made me think of Helen. This one had, because she tends to wear a lot of like color blocked or like, yeah. So this one, I'm just doing alternating rows of three rows of different colors and kind of phasing. So I'm about to start I'm about to leave off with the blue and start the gray, and I'm just gonna.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do something a little different with it too. Yeah.
And then go until it gets done, and then.
So you made that as a scarf? I thought it was going to be a cowl.
Oh yeah,
did you seam it?
I seamed it together.
Okay.
So I seamed the two ends together.
Yeah.
I grafted them together. Yeah. And that was a hassle because it was like 100 stitches.
Oh, patience.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's not completely invisible, but it won't be the end of the world if it's in the front. Yeah. It was fine.
All good.
And then I worked on one more thing. Oh, two more things. So just real quick, I've still been working on the socks for my stepdad's birthday. I have both of them at the same point, but I'll just show this one, and I just lost some stitches, but oh well. So they're just a ribbed sock in this Regia 4-ply tweed. The color's 2025. So yeah, they're the right length of the foot except for the toe right now, so I just have to put the toe in.
Okay. Oh.
So those should be done soon.
Yeah. It's a really nice yarn. I like that color.
Yeah, I think it's going to be nice and sturdy.
Yeah.
And sorry that my face keeps glowing.
It keeps adjusting. Yeah.
But what I'm really excited about.
Me too.
I haven't showed Wanta yet. Is the
okay.
The
I thought
Twigs.
it was your feet. Oh, yes.
My future plans.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
I'm excited about this
yeah.
too. Very excited about this.
So I have really been wanting to knit some color work. I mean, the shift is kind of color work. It's mosaic, but I really like knitting stranded color work, and I didn't have anything going. So when I went through my stash, I found a whole quantity of this cream color Jamieson and Smith yarn. I have a sweater's worth of this, and I thought, you know what, I want to knit some color work with that.
Yeah.
And so I surfed around on Ravelry and my favorites and whatnot, and I decided to make the Twigs by Junko Okamoto.
Yes.
I should have printed a picture of it.
It's
but
such a cool design. I have it in my favorites.
So
I might be able to pull it up.
The design picture is brown, like a brownish with a light colored contrast, but instead I'm doing, okay, son, let's make this work for us, please. Let's see, okay, oh, there we go. I'm doing a cream, yeah, it's just not gonna let us.
Is my side
Maybe
better?
your side
Oh,
is
it's
better.
showing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A cream with orange
Look at
contrast.
that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Those colors are great.
Yeah.
I love it.
So it's two different colors of orange, but I've only used, the only place I use the second color is like a little blip down here so far. But it's these two.
Oh, I see it. I kind of see that.
Colors. It's a lighter orange and then more of a red. Yeah.
Yeah. That is cute.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about it. I'm loving it. It's Jamieson's and Smith's. I'll put the colors on my Ravelry. And yeah, US size 1 needle, so it's like it's a lot.
That's you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that pattern was. Oh gosh.
I mean, the pattern says 2, but I'm kind of a loose knitter, so I had to go down to 1 to get the right gauge. I did do a gauge swatch for this.
And watch her be done by the next podcast.
Yeah. Well, I've knit all of this since Friday. So I did the tubular cast on, which actually turned out, this is the first time I've ever done a tubular cast on that I think looks good. And then I knit this first section yesterday, and then I knit the second section today. So
yeah, exactly. Here it goes. I wanted to.
Oh yeah, show the.
good shot of it. It's not really a full body one, but
Oh, this one is
what,
that one,
or
yeah.
this one?
Either, yeah.
Loading.
This is fascinating. Fascinating watching that work.
Okay, it's not loading.
Okay, it's not loading. Anyways, it's a really pretty sweater, and we should have pulled up a picture of it beforehand, and my face is glowing again.
Here, maybe if I just zoom in though.
There we go, yeah.
See?
So it's gonna be like that, but reversed, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
So,
Oh, this is so gorgeous.
I'm excited about it. It's the weird thing about this sweater, I mean, I guess maybe it's not that weird, but it's one size. But the size is like a 50-inch circumference or something. But, I mean, that's not ideal because...
Is that really one
It's not,
size?
right. So, for me, that size should work.
Yeah.
I feel like if that size would not fit you, you could mess with it by making the gauge... I mean, it's supposed to be very oversized, so I think anybody who is smaller than that could fit into it. But if that doesn't fit you, I would say you could easily just pick a slightly thicker yarn and knit it to a bigger gauge, and it should work out because it's not like it's like a tailored pattern. It's like a very meant to be very oversized.
That's a good tip. Yeah.
So, and I can see why, now that I have the pattern, I can see why it is only one size, because the charts are all, there's like 12 different charts and they're all different amounts of stitch counts. So, because I was at first, I wasn't getting the gauge, my gauge was too big, and so I was trying to figure out how to eliminate like 30 stitches, and I was like, I couldn't, I was like, this is too much, I just need to get smaller needles. So yeah, I would say just knit it to a bigger gauge and you could still do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And then I don't have any concrete future plans, so I'm not going to go there, but you got some yarn for a future plan. You know what you're going to make with it already, right?
Yeah, I do. So I was going to ask you to pull that pattern up too, and I forgot.
I'm trying
the only yarn that either of us bought at Stitches is I bought this beige bouche mohair. And I bought it because I had, again, when I went through actually I already knew I had this in my stash, but I got excited by it when I went through. Oh, it's called, the pattern that I'm going to make is called the Aine sweater, A-I-N-E, by Lucia Ruiz de Aguirre. And I had this beige bouche like olive colored yarn, and I was looking for the mohair to match it. So I had been thinking about making the love note.
She just has this one.
Yeah, but that shows it. I had been thinking about making the love note, but I've been seeing finished object pictures of it recently, and it
does that show?
The yoke, I think the lacy part of the yoke was really low on the love note. And I just don't think I would be happy with it. So this sweater has, it's not as low, right? And it's not as open. So even if it goes a little bit lower, I think that'll look really pretty in the olive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Will the lace pattern show up well, or?
I think it will.
Yeah.
I think it will. Yeah.
I like the olive.
So yeah, I'm excited about that. And after I get going on Twigs, we'll see. One of these days
when
I'll
you'll cast it on.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And my other plan is I didn't forget about making you your pineapple.
Oh! I
didn't do it yet.
Oh, okay.
But I did finish this cross stitch project, which is another one from the green issue of X Stitch magazine. Yeah. And there's enough fabric down here at the bottom that isn't covered with the alphabet, so there's a bunch of extra fabric. So your pineapple's going there.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yay!
So maybe next time.
Yeah. So should we share these bags from Stitches, though?
Let's share that.
And talk a little bit about the plans we have for folks. You wanna? I can hold it up. You can.
Sure. Well, so this bag was designed by Nerdbird Makery, right?
I think it was a collabo,
Yeah, it was
but
a-
Nerdbird
yeah.
Makery. What does it say?
It says Sincere Sheep. So it was sold by Sincere Sheep, but which is a yarn company that has a really beautiful woolly yarn. And they collaborated with, I believe, Nerdbird Makery, who did the art, right?
Mhm.
And some other folks.
Black Squirrel
Black
was a part of
Squirrel.
it. Yeah.
To make this bag that you could pre-order and pick up at Stitches. So we each got one, and we got a couple extra for you guys.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then also this is organic cotton,
Mhm.
so worth mentioning.
Yeah. So we just really liked the theme of it. We love that it has the Bay Area theme. It's got the Bay Bridge on there.
Yes. Among friends.
Among friends and all the friends knitting. So yeah, so we each got
there
one.
I am in the middle. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. That's Wanda in the middle. I'm there on the right, and we don't know who this guy is, but he can join us anytime.
Her next.
Yeah. So we got a couple of extras of these, and do you want to talk about how we want to give them away?
Yes. So we are, since it's so fresh, we just got these from Stitches West. We figured we would give one away now, and so the theme on here is among friends. We're podcasting. We're friends. Our viewers, we now consider you a part of our community of friends. So we would like for you to like the video, subscribe, and leave us a comment sharing with us just how you like to spend your time among friends, your favorite way to spend time. Maybe give them some choices. This is a teacher in me. Some of your favorite ways to spend time among your friends, or ways that your friends add to your life and your sense of community. So leave us a comment, and I think how long will we go with this? Maybe until the next episode?
Until we do the next episode, which is
Okay.
usually 2 weeks.
So 2 to 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and then before that episode, we will use a random selection and choose a winner and send this out to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just really appreciate everybody who watches our videos and leaves us comments and has subscribed and liked our videos, and we just want to thank you. And we do feel like we're among friends.
Yeah.
When we're here every couple weeks talking to you. So.
Yeah, you've been really supportive, and it's encouraging for us. So yeah, just want to show you some love.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's about it.
That's about it. I'm still glowing, so we can end that situation.
All right, so we'll see you again in 2 to 3 weeks. Again, thank you for watching and commenting and chatting in the thread and sharing your projects for Clear the Needles 2020. Continue to use that hashtag, and we'll be connected.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.